All right, here we go. We're on. We're all set. So, hey guys, I'm super thrilled to have you all here. So we've decided after 4 years of doing MagMind one way that we're going to do it a bit different moving forward. And this is the start. This is the start. And so we've got a lot of feedback from everyone, and what we've decided is that we're going to have a theme for each month, and we're going to set a theme. And then every week, instead of all the sessions being whatever the coach tunes into, all the sessions for that month are going to relate to this theme. And that's going to mean that we can really go deep on a process with all our choices. Okay, it's going to actually mean that we get a lot more out of the work, and no one's going to, oh, did I get Chris's session, or did I get, this session or that session? We can have a theme for a month, which will allow us to really, as I said, go deep on a certain theme. So we're going to start off with a big theme. And the big theme for this first month is going to be parts integration. So we're going to spend this month working with parts integration and the inner fire meditation. And what that means is that each session that you turn up to for the month of November, you're going to be able to pick two of your choices to work with on that session, and we'll focus with just one process, right? So let's say you have 8 choices. First week, you do it with the first 2, then 2, then 2, then 2, and all of your choices have had a focus of parts integration on it. And I got, and then I convinced my team that this is going to simplify everything, allow you all to go, okay, cool, I know what the sessions are going to be, and I'll turn up to one, and I'm going to work with this process on my choices. And so we think it's going to be really nice. And so each month, there'll be a big session with me like this, where I take you all through what we're going to go through for that month. And then every week we'll have the coaches doing recode. How does that sound? Does it sound good? Give me some love in the chat box. Does it sound good? So each week you'll do the parts integration with recode on your choices. And my assumption is that by staying focused on recode plus one process, your consciousness will be able to really go deep on that. So really go deep, whether we do a whole month on family entanglements, and then we do another month on alignment, and then another month on massive change history, and we can go deep with it. So we're in the creative end result of the best program ever, and this is what we've decided we're going to add to the program. So I think it's really, really, really good, and I think what it's going to allow us is to, on every single session, instead of having to use the first half an hour to do education, right? Because on the sessions each week, we do half an hour of education first, and then we go into recode. We don't have to do that education anymore, because everyone will know that we're doing parts integration. And what that will mean is the coaches will be able to work through 2 choices with you each week, rather than just getting through one, right? Because at the moment, they jump on, they have to explain, okay, I'm going to do this process, here's how it works, blah, 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 and then we get to recode. This way, you turn up, put a chat at the beginning, and let's get straight into it. Yeah. So, so anyway, we've had lots and lots and lots of chats over the last 2 months about it. And this is what we think is going to mean that everyone gets the most out of it. Okay. So that's why you're here. So we're going to be doing one of these every month moving forward, which will set the theme for the month. And we will stay in the creative end result of just the best program ever. And, we'll see how it lands in a couple of months. Hey, does that sound good? So there you go. So that's it. That's our goal. So there are some notes and things that we've sent across, which is great. It doesn't matter if you have them or not. because I'll be screen sharing. This is on record, so this will be added to your Kajabi every month, and they'll be the same with every month moving forward. Is you'll be able to be on live with me like this for the kickoff call, or you can just simply watch the replay. Cool. So yeah, glad to see a lot of people are agreeing that the idea is good as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so there are 3 steps in MagMind: recode your identity, restructure your consciousness, and then recreate your life. To get the most out of the session, play full out, take loads of notes, ask any questions if you like. Everything is a learning, so be responsible for your own learning, be coachable, let go of your old learnings, get outside your comfort zone, and embrace frustration. So get committed, really get committed. The first thing we're going to do every single month together, and these are going to be with me every month, is we want to just review the month that was, or if you're still, well, we are all still in it, aren't we? We're all still, it's the last day of the month. So we want to do a little bit of a review. So every month moving forward, we're going to do a review about what you've actually created. So if you wouldn't mind, let's start there. So in the month of October, what are some of the things that you have created? And you can use the chat box if you like, or you can just jot them down. What have you created? Have you created a new morning routine? Have you created something in your business? Have you created a holiday? Some people on this call have created coming to Africa with me. What have you created? Just want you to think about the last 4 weeks. What have you created? 3 practice clients, Mila. Yeah. Sherry, a big move across the state. Some people created coming to San Diego and hanging out with me. What have you created? Some steps towards your certification. I love it. What have you created? Yeah, what have you created? Maybe you created a new morning routine. New program for your clients. Hire a virtual assistant. I love it. Holiday. Nice. 4 new clients. Nice. And Hannah, you created winning some stuff too. So what have you created the last 4 weeks? A new home. Now everyone's going after big stuff, lots of small stuff too, you know. What else have you created? Maybe you created, you bought yourself something, you know, maybe you created new friendship. Maybe you created a new feeling. What have you created? Like some new feelings. And so some inspiring new friends. I love it, Joe. More downtime. And so by acknowledging what you have created, you're teaching your unconscious that you're a creator. So as you acknowledge what you have created, I also want you to acknowledge some things you wanted to create. But now let's also notice, what are some things that you created that you really didn't want to create? Right? Is there some things you didn't want to create? I created a bit of self-sabotage. I created myself being sick, or you know, maybe you created an injury. Yeah, some debt, maybe. Yeah. Just acknowledge it, because when you acknowledge it as it's your creation, you're in control. Okay. So just created some anger. I created some tiredness, or I created, and just acknowledge it all. Okay, it's a good process. I created some resistance. Yeah. So notice some good stuff and notice some bad stuff. Okay. The next thing is, what have been your biggest learnings in the last 4 weeks? Like, what have you really learned? What have been some of your biggest learnings? What have you really learned? Yeah, the past is over. What have been your biggest learnings? Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Number 3, when you think about your last month, what have you changed, or what do you do different now compared to September? What have you changed? Nice. What have you changed? What do you do different now? Yeah. Just notice how you feel as you're writing these down, this reflection, point of reflection, and just kind of just be self-aware of how it feels. What are you most proud of for the last 4 weeks? What are you most proud of? Like, you look at them, I'm proud I did that, or I'm proud of my ability to stay focused. What are you proud of? Yeah. Yeah, it feels good. Nice. So now that you just have all of that, I just when you feel like you've done it, I want you just to close your eyes and just acknowledge yourself as a super conscious creative being. Okay, so as you've written it all down, just acknowledge yourself as a super conscious, magical creative being who created things and has learnings and just assume, as you close your eyes, just assume you're a creative being, and just assume everything is coming together in the way it's supposed to. Everything looks like failure in the middle. Just as it's all coming together. That's it. Just feel really good about that. And now the question is, so what am I creating next? So what am I going to create this month? What am I focused on now? What would you love? What are you creating next? And so you've got your choices, written out in front of you. So, right. So what am I creating next? Yeah. What am I creating next? What would you love to create next? And so when you think about next, right, you have these big choices, but you're not going to possibly create the whole choice this month. It's like, what are you going to create next? And it's just a really nice process. It's a really nice process. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Cool. So we're going to be doing and asking those 5 questions in a month from now. And so I hope that you've written them down, you fill out the form. And so that next month you can look down at them again, Yeah. Yeah. Because completion creates momentum. And so you actually acknowledge that, October is over, and this is what I created, and this is what I learned, and this is what I'm proud of, and this is what I'm done. Like you just go through that. Yeah. And then what it does is it lets you just move through and acknowledge that you're the creator of it all, and understand that completion creates momentum, which moves you into your next place. Okay, so did that feel good? Yeah. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Cool. So let's get into some of the content for this month. The structure of our reality. So what's really interesting, and this is stuff from the new book that I'm starting to put together slowly. Our consciousness works diligently to create a model of the world in which the human can live in and rely on. Human beings function automatically to distort the sensory information provided to them by the real world, by that world. This process converts a chaotic everything into a hyperstable something that can be described and predicted. The world that results from all this massively unconscious transforming can be experienced as stably friendly or unfriendly, stably positive or negative. But one thing it is stable. What everyone on the call gets to go, It's very interesting, isn't it? Is that our consciousness is just doing this. It needs to create a stable environment to rely on. Okay, and so even if it's not stably friendly, at least it's stable. It knows how it is. It needs it to know how it is. So it's always converting it to be a certain way. And so we always find the same characters. We find a way to always create the same experience, right? For me, I would always find a way to get myself just about to have the success that I wanted and then break it so then I could chase back to try to go chase it again. You see that? That was what was stable for me, was being a chaser, not being someone who has it. And so that's what was stable. And some people, what's stable is misery or upset or abundance or doing that, right? But it's whatever it is, it's stable. Okay, next thing that's interesting. Our human software includes a hidden back door that gives us access to the patterning our brain uses to keep us safe. When we access this patterning, we can revise it, which is a useful thing to do, because the version of us that our brain is protecting is very rarely more than 5 years old. This is going to become really, really crucial to understand with the processes we're doing this month. A little attention to the structure of a person's everyday language reveals the hidden limitations in their model of things. And this makes it very revisable. First, of course, I got to know what they would like. But I want you to get this. Our human software includes a hidden back door. And so as we do the parts process this month, you're going to notice that your language gives you a hidden window into what's causing the conflict. That's all I have to say about that. It's like, yes. Number 3, language is a representation of reality. A little attention to the structure of a person's everyday language patterns can reveal the hidden limitations in their model of things. And this makes it all very revisable. First, of course, they have to know what they would like. Did that just repeat itself? It did. Team, can we just know that that's like literally repeated itself a bit there? I don't think it really matters. So what it is up here we have language, okay? Down here we have the world. Okay. A few hours, Dalton, I think, at least. So what we have down the bottom is what we're censoring. We have an experience of it. And then we get increased abstraction, which comes out with language. And the silly example I always use is the example of someone who has cold, wet boots, cold, wet feet. And so their sensory experiences of cold, wet feet, okay? Now, if 2 people are sitting next to each other with cold, wet feet, their experience is the same. However, their experience of the experience can be very different. See, one person could just be really upset. That's their best shoes, best boots, and it's got a hole in it, and they had to trot home with wet socks. Another person just finished skiing and had the absolute best day of their life. Another person was jumping in puddles with their toddler and having a time of their life. And so the experience of the experience is different. Does that make sense, everyone? And so then we describe that in language. But we've still got the same wet feet. We've still got the same wet feet. It's how we talk about it. And this is it's such an important point because as we do, the work this month, what you're going to realize is that two people can be having the same sensory experience of things, but they're both going to talk about it in different ways. And this lets us know what's going on between those 2 points. Are you following it? Right? Two people could have 100 grand in their bank. One person can be talking how they don't have enough, and one person can be talking about how they've just won the lottery. But the actual physical thing down the bottom is the same. One person can be, you guys get the point, right? And so what transfers from, so two people have the exact same thing going on and it's completely different, right? Some people can't feel abundance, even though they live in a developed country and have a good job, they still can't feel abundance. Where someone else, you go to Africa and you see these kids and they feeling completely different reality, but they don't have the same thing. And so it lets you know of what's going on in the middle. Language lets us know what's going on, right? And so we can use that language with ourselves to kind of reverse engineer what's going on. And that's going to be very useful for this month. Because this month we're going to be talking about internal conflict. And by definition, internal conflict is when an individual is trying to have everything at once, but it's not possible. So for example, it's not possible to choose to have a great social media presence and never be rejected. That's impossible, right? Right? And so someone's like, oh, Chris, I don't know. I got this. I want to do videos, but I don't know what's going on. It's like, well, actually, you're just trying to do both things, right? You either can not ever get rejected ever. That would mean don't put videos up, or you're going to have the videos up. Does that make sense? Like it doesn't, that's how internal conflict is happening. Yeah. Cool. Another one is, when it comes to money, it's like they want to have money, but they don't want to ever be seen as a rich person, because that's bad. You see that? And so they have this internal conflict. It's like, I want to be rich, but like, I don't want to actually be, I don't want anyone, like, I don't want to be seen as rich. It's like, what are you talking about? Why do you want it then? What's going on? Anyway, so it's quite funny. All of us are in that structure, or not in these structures. Okay, so to continue for this month, and are these good points? This is why you're going to need a month to chew on these points. Old patterns of meaning making and behavior, no matter how limiting or pointless they may seem, are still there and operating in our lives for really, 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 really good reasons. Really. It's important to understand that old patterns of meaning making, so meaning making, what does the cold boots mean? And behavior, I don't want to put the video up online. So old patterns of meaning making and behavior, no matter how limiting or pointless they may seem, are still there for good reasons, okay? So as we do parts this month, there's no behavior that isn't there without a reason. And that's important to understand, because a lot of times we're told that our unconscious is bad. You know, fear is bad. These things are bad. Well, you shouldn't have them. They're negative. But no, they're part of it. They're there for good reasons. It's useful just to recognize that before we go about changing them, so we're in rapport, because we can change them at any time we would like. But sometimes we haven't understood the benefit that they're there for, and then they don't change. Yeah. Oh, look, I put the internal conflict one in. All of our internal conflicts, all of our most stuck experience is still like it is, because it's been designed to be like that. Internal conflict is our way of trying to have everything we would like, right? I explained that just before, so I don't have to go through that. Okay, number 6, we are not monolithic beings. Our consciousness is comprised of countless smaller scale consciousnesses, consciousi, that seek to fulfill themselves by fulfilling us. We call these parts, call these aspects of consciousness, or parts of consciousness. These aspects can never be turned off or disconnected, which is a problem, because they are often operating on information that is decades out of date. Good news is we can update them whenever we want. The problem is that until you come into this work, you don't know how to update them. Yeah. So the last point for this month: as humans, we always and only select the most positive options on our life menu. There is no exceptions to this. Therefore, we cannot learn to take better actions. What we can do is learn to revise our internal menus and add more possibilities to choose from. See, some people think, oh, I'm so frustrated. Well, frustrated is actually more positive than hopeless. Right? Yeah. So it's fine. So it's more positive, but always doing it. So how did all that land, eh? I think it was good to think about. Yeah, it's good to think about. So this month, my goal is for us to get as many of our aspects of our consciousness to agree that that the choices we have are good choices, and that we want them, and to go have them. There's no reason why you don't just go have them. You know, there's no reason why you just go, yeah, that's what I want to have, and you go have it, and you're in the flow of having them, right? You're going for them, you're having them, you're feeling them, and you create them. Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do. Yeah. So parts integration. We've got 2 different ways that we do a parts integration. Show of hands, who's done the parts auditorium before? Who's done parts auditorium? Yeah. So we're going to do a parts auditorium. Parts auditorium, if you haven't done it, it's a great process, visual process, beautiful process. Okay. So we're going to be doing that. And the other is a visual parts integration. Who's done the show of hands? Who's done the parts integration, the visual one with the hands as well? Who's done that one? Yeah. So there's 2 different ways to do it, and they are the same thing, just done differently. We also add recode on for these aspects and these parts, because a lot of times the part of us that's making that decision, it's just following orders that was made 40 years ago. One of the things that's interesting about aspects of our consciousness is that they don't really know time. So 40 years ago, they were chilling in the break room playing cards, And you know, you ran in, right? And you said to all the other parts, you ran in and you said to these parts, said, hey, parts, I really need you to make sure that you don't piss off Dad. And that the one part that wasn't doing, they put down his cards, put out a cigarette, jumped up and said, I'm ready, I'm free. And so you wrote a contract with it and you said, make sure that you don't get told off by Dad. Be good. So what does Dad need? Okay, he needs me to be quiet and to do my homework. Got it. And then 40, 50, 60 years later down the track, Dad's not even in existence anymore. And that part is still trying to be good based on what they believe that person needed. And so when we do this process, it's kind of funny because you go back and you start communicating with the part's like, you've grown. I haven't seen you in a while. Last thing you said to us is make sure that Dad, it's like, make sure that happens. Wow. Sweet. Let's do something different. And so what we can acknowledge about any aspect of our consciousness that is held true in this way is that the one thing it's got a skill is it has a skill to stay focused on whatever agreement and role you gave it. So your most stubborn parts have at least one skill. They can be bloody stubborn. And so what we want to do is we want to acknowledge their skill and refocus that skill in a different way. Make sense? Okay. A lot of sense. Nearly dollars. That's how much sense it makes. That doesn't make sense. All right, cool. So I'd like you to pick two choices that you want to work on today off your list. I want you to pick two choices off your list because we're going to do two. We're going to do the visual parts integration, which is where you imagine talking to the parts. And we're going to do the auditorium. So just look at your choices list. You can choose any of the core four. You can choose your business choice. And just type a 2 in the chat box when you pick 2 that you want to work on today. Nice. Nice. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of 2s come in, but not nearly enough. There. Okay. So we're going to imagine this. So there's a part of you that really, really, really wants that choice to happen. Okay. And so I want you just to write down how would you describe the part of you that really wants it to happen? Is it the confident you? Is it the focused you? And just acknowledge there's a part of you that really wants it to happen, and just acknowledge it, right? What part of me really wants to be achiever, the courageous one? I don't know. Yeah, Mama Bear, I like it. the one who takes action. The main personality, the cheerleader. Okay, so just write that one down, the one that wants it. What is that one? And I want you to give it a name so that you can talk to it. So the adventurer or the courageous or the leader or the passionate one, just have one name for it. But you know what it's there for. Yeah. Got it. Okay. So I want you to imagine that that's one part of your consciousness. What part of your consciousness fights that? So what is the other side, the one that is against that one? The flip side of the coin, what part of you is against that one? Just ask yourself, what part of me is against that? The doubter, the perfectionist, fear, the wounded one, hurt one, yeah. The one that wants to be safe, yeah, not good enough one. Yeah. And so I want you to give this one a name. Okay, so you got these two aspects of you, and just play with this for a second. Can you step in and be each one? Like, if you think about this choice, could you just observe how you are when you're in the one that believes in it and wants it? Just notice how that is. And then can you shift to the other part of you? And can you be the doubter one, the other one? Can you do that? And just you don't need to write it down, but just feel into each one. Just let me know if you can do that. Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? You can kind of just shift between the two. Isn't it? It's interesting. And can you kind of feel the tension between them? Like, as you think about that choice, can you feel that both of them are kind of in you, like rattling around? Yeah. They're in conflict, aren't they? Cool. And so one of the reasons why our choices are in conflict is that we have two parts that are just not working together. And so what's happening is there's an aspect of you that starts to move towards it, then another one that doesn't. And it's as a whole, you're trying to achieve two things that can't happen at once. Yeah, you see that? They're just going to battle it out. Yeah, because it's all you, but it's just different intentions and different instructions. So here's how this process works, okay? And I'm going to explain it before we do it. So what we do is we identify the conflicted parts, okay? So we've done that already. You, the client, and you're going to hold your hands out, elbows up. You don't have to do it now because I'm going to explain it, so don't worry. But you hold your hands up like this. And the first thing I'll do is I'll ask you to imagine the unwanted, the part that's against you, to come out on one of your hands. Okay. And I'll have you make a image, a visual, auditory, and feeling image of it. Okay. So I'll guide you through it. Then we'll have the other part come out on the other hand. Okay. So you have them on both hands. And so that will come out on that part. Then I'll begin to ask questions. Okay, so what we'll do is I'll say, I'd like to ask the part, what's the intention of the behavior? And when you do this, okay, you want to be connected and as though you're talking to an aspect of you. So we bring it out, we stand it on your hand, and I'm going to ask you to ask it questions, okay? Now, what happens is as you're talking to these parts, okay, the part of you that's trying to deny that aspect will pretend that it doesn't want anything positive for you. So you'll say, what's the purpose of that? And you will say, to stop me being happy in life. That's not true. But that's what you'll think. You say, no, what's its purpose to stop me being happy in life? What's it really trying to do? Because no part of you was designed to stop you being happy. So can we just all play a game? If a part says to stop you being happy, what might be the positive intention of that? To be loved by dad. To not get hurt. So it says to not get hurt, to be loved by dad. What's the intention of not being happy? To fit in. You see? Who gets it just then? Who gets it? So it's not negative. To stop me living my dreams. No, what's it really wanting for you? It's wanting you, it's wanting something else. And so you need to connect with it. Okay. And you got to realize, I want you all to get this, is that every part of you, Amanda, every part, it's designed to do something good for you. It's just that you're not recognizing what it's designed to do. It's not designed to be against you. You didn't create a part of your consciousness to be against you. It's that you don't want to just survive anymore. And so it's there ensuring that you don't get judged by the people in the school ground. Right? It's trying to not get you judged by the kids in the school ground. And that's what it's trying to do still. And you're over here trying to launch a crazy superconscious business. A bit close to home for me, but you know what I mean? You see that? And so it's like, it's how it is. There's no part of your consciousness that's against you. It's just that we haven't recognized how it's for us yet. And when you do, you realize, oh, I see why that part of me always makes me eat lots of food. Because it didn't want to get attention from certain people. And so by having lots of food and being that body shape, I didn't get myself with that attention, which I was told off by my mom. So chose to always eat lots of food. You see that? It's a part. Hey, it's a part of us. But you see how we think that it's doing something wrong. If you really want this process to work, you really want to be connected as one, is you will understand that every part of you is designed to be looking after you, and that's why it's important. That's why it's important. When you understand that it's all there for you, then we can allow them to realize, okay, I actually do want that, but I want it in different ways now. And so we can update it. So it's a really cool process, okay? It's a really good process. And you get to be the one to allow it to happen. So here's how it works. Okay, you're gonna in a moment you're gonna have your hands like this. You're not going to be looking at the screen. You're going to be listening to me. You're going to be talking to parts that you're going to imagine are sitting on your hands. Okay, as we imagine this, and by the way, it is imaginary because your unconscious works in metaphors and works in the imagination. That's how it works. Okay, and so that's how we remember. We're always imagining our past. Okay. And so you connect to it. As you start to realize that both parts actually want the same thing, miraculously, your hands start coming closer together. It's really weird. They start coming closer together, which is a metaphor your unconscious is giving you. They actually want the same thing. As they come closer together, they will come together, which will signal full integration of these two aspects. And then you can just put it on your chest and we'll just meditate. Oops, sorry, I had a microphone there. Was that really loud? You put it on your chest, and we'll just meditate a little bit at the end. I will throw recode in as well. Okay, so everyone here has done recode, and we just want to bring it together. Okay, so the end result is that these two aspects of you get along. Okay, so we're going to give it a go, and we're going to be going deep on this all month. Deep on it all month, okay? Cool. So when you're ready, just go ahead and choose to get the most out of this, and put your hands up like this. Listening to my voice, I would like to talk to the first part that represents the unwanted state or behavior. Please ask this part to come out on one of the hands. Just notice which hand does it want to come out on. Just notice it wants to come out on one of the hands. As you connect with this part, just notice, does it look like something? Does it look like someone you know? Is it a symbol? Does it have a sound? And what does it feel like when you connect to that part? Yeah. Just connect to that part. Just notice how your unconscious presents it today. And now on the other hand, I'd like to talk to the part which is in the most conflict with this, the flip side of the coin, the opposite number. And just ask that part to come out. Notice, does it want to come out on the front of your hand, tips of your fingers, or the palm of your hand? Where does it want to come out? And just connect with this part of you, and just notice, does it look, sound, or feel like someone that you know? So connect with this part, the positive part, the part that wants this choice. I'd just like to ask this part, what's its intention for its behavior? What's its intention for this behavior, for wanting this choice? Yeah. Just connect with this part really and ask it, what's its intention? And whatever answer it gives you, just ask, and what's the purpose of that? Wait for its answer and ask it again. And what's the purpose of that? Keep connecting with this part and asking it, what's the purpose of that? Until you get to a very high truth of what it's really trying to do. Yeah. And now on the other hand, connect to the other side. Please ask this part, what's its intention? What's its intention? What's its intention of being against this good choice? What's its intention? Why are you against this good choice? And just stay focused, looking down at that part. And whatever answer it gives you, ask it, and what's the purpose of that? And what's the purpose of that? Stay connected to this part. Continue to ask it, what's the purpose of that? Have any of you noticed that your hands are moving closer together? I wonder if the parts can notice now they were once part of a larger whole. If there are any other parts that were once part of a larger whole, please ask if they will join in on the integration. What resources or attributes does each part have the other part would like to have? You can reconnect to each part and just notice that they both want the same thing. Superconscious, please treat and do a massive change history until all parts can notice that they want the same thing. That's it. And just allow the hands to come together. Continue to ask each part what's its purpose until we get there. Now, when you're ready, allow the parts, the hands to come together. Bring them in and put them on your chest to signal an integration. Yeah. Yep. Now you can let the parts reintegrate back into the whole again. And if your hands aren't coming closer together, just ask your superconscious what each part needs to know about the other part in order for integration to happen. Have them notice that they both want the same thing. Oh. And just take your time. If you're feeling that you're back, then you're back. I've seen a few questions in the chat box, which I'll answer. So RJ, I see your question. If you've got questions, do the little hand up. If you've got shares, let me know. Someone's typed in, Chris, I feel so broken right now. That's okay. There's an aspect of your consciousness creating that reality, and it's okay to feel that way. You're not. It's okay to feel that way. You're not. There's a part of your consciousness creating that reality, and when you're ready, we can update that so that you have a different experience of it. Nice. So does everyone know how to do the little hand up icon? If you'd like to have shares, you can. See Dalton's hands up, which is fantastic. So what I noticed in that, this was one of the most profound experiences for me to really do this. Oh, that's amazing. Lots of people are buzzing. Yeah, it is amazing. Very cool. I did see some other questions in there, so one of the questions was, if the hands aren't coming together, they don't want the same thing. Well, every aspect of you wants for you to express yourself at your fullest potential. When we're in a complete conflict, we deny that that's actually supposed to be doing something good for us. We're like, no, that part just wants to ruin everything. As soon as we truly allow ourselves to untangle ourselves from the, untangle from the back to the chaotic mess from the hyperstable something, right? It's just creating a hyperstable something. We just need to untangle. Yeah, it sounds rough, Donna. We're here for you, though. All right, Dalton. Yo.
Hey, it's good to finally talk to you, Chris.
1 second. Sorry, go again.
It's good to finally talk to you, Chris. I've told everybody about you, and I'm in the middle of having my hair all messed up, but
yeah, I was going to say that hair's crazy. Nice to chat. So what's on your mind?
So I noticed that I'm scared of people leaving me, so I pretend to be more weird and out there than I am, so that they won't like me in the beginning, so they can't leave.
Yeah, number 4, orientation. I'll reject others so they can't reject me. Yep, I get it.
It was good talking to you. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Have a good rest of your life.
Yeah, well, I'll talk to you next time.
I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Seemed a bit too final there. Thank you. All right, cool. We'll get some shares. Mostly I want to hear shares about that process. Thanks, Anya. Linda, my friend, how was that for you?
Hey.
Hi.
Hello. I like your haircut.
Me or Dalton? I like Dalton. Mine. Yeah, thank you. It's I think it's just my normal hair.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Looks like it shrunk.
What's on your mind? How was that?
That was really wonderful. What they agree on, what they both are after, is connecting heart to heart with other people, and specifically around celebrating how powerful we are and how creative we are, how huge we are. Yeah, both want that, but the one that didn't looked like one of those little animals that rolls itself up into a ball. I forgot what they're called.
And then once you get to it, they both want the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that was a bit of a revelation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Great to hear from you. Brad. Hello, sir. Where is he? Here he is. How was that?
Sorry, I was muted.
It
was excellent. I had in my right hand, it almost looked like I come from a rural background, so I saw lots of animals. So it would have been like a mole, but pink, not fully developed. And it was like a little needy and wanted to be safe, but didn't feel good about itself. And then in my left hand was the successful, polished, articulate, popular me. And then as you were going through it, my hands changed from being open like this to like this.
Yeah.
And they were attracting. And then as you were speaking, they were just staying. And then I got to a point where in my mind's eye, I could see the right hand, the weaker, feeling insecure, kind of shameful part, started to realize that it needed the other part over top of it to be whole. And after that happened, the left hand, which was the polished whatever me, I realized that the identity I had of that wasn't in alignment with my core in this good part. And it was more of a jerk, because I'd seen that as more powerful because I'd felt powerless earlier in my life. So I realized, well, I can be that without being the jerk. And then it felt good to put the two identities to half identities
Wow.
together, because that was really more of my whole identity.
You went on a journey.
Yeah. And my hair was good.
Oh, amazing, sir. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well done.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
sharing. Thank you. Thank you back. Very nice. I love it. We got some good shares coming in here. So let me read this one out. It came in private, so I won't read out their name. This person says, it makes me feel like my body is happy and working now. I was in extreme pain before, and now I'm not feeling it. What? I couldn't even move. How often do we do this? We're going to focus on this all month. We're going to focus on this all month with all your choices. The other one that came in from Elizabeth says, I couldn't get it to work. Had financial genius and beach bum, but the financial genius was a controlling person and the beach bum didn't want to do the work. Well, actually, they both want the same thing. I'm pretty sure the financial genius wants freedom and the beach bum wants freedom. I would assume the financial genius actually wants to have the money to then do stuff with it, and the beach bum's already doing it. The financial genius is very boring without the beach bum. So it's good awareness. It doesn't matter how it goes the first time. This awareness allows us to realize that we can be whole again. Okay, it's very good. Very good. Patricia, so I'll answer a few more and then we've got 2 exercises to do under the same theme. So no stress with everyone. You know, you do the process, you're going to get something out of it. You're learning from other people's shares, and then we're going to go and do the second one. And then this is our theme for the month. Who's liking the new theme? We're going to have a theme for the whole month, and we're going to do parts integration until we're the theme is wholeness, you know. Patricia, hey.
Hello.
Hey, how was that for you?
There was this part of me that was just sitting there, having been condemned. The born in sin is shaped in iniquity aspect of my consciousness. And so the choice that I had, what I had chosen was to express my, I guess on some level, that divine aspect of myself, that service giving, that loving aspect of myself. And
Right.
so as soon as you started, I started feeling like crying, as if I was about to have an experience where I was going to redefine myself, and that no longer would I feel that there was this sinful flesh aspect of my consciousness that I was at war with, but that I
Wow.
could now recognize that I am programmed. I am programmed to express this love, and that every aspect of me can align with that. And so I just have such a tremendous sense of gratitude.
Wow. Well, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Profound. You're amazing. Thanks for some moments sharing that with us. You're amazing. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
All right, Carrie's going to give us one more share and then we will get into our next one. That's awesome. Hey, Carrie, how was that?
It was great, but I kind of got stuck at the end with the concept of what the kind of Disney princess that wants me to go for it. She had to be fulfilled as the final destination, to feel fulfilled in life. And the other one was more like a big blob. Said, no, you have to stay safe. Safe was the goal. So they didn't quite align.
No, you just haven't gone far enough. And
How do you go farther?
Yes, so the fulfilled, what's the purpose of being fulfilled? If you were to just ask that part right now, what's the purpose of being fulfilled? You muted yourself.
Sorry, I'm in a public space, so I didn't want to hear the music in the background.
Oh, okay. You
Um,
don't have to do it if you had a public space.
Yeah, no, they just turned music on all of a sudden.
Okay,
But
that's
the,
all right.
yeah, but
That's
the
all right.
fulfilled part is, I mean, the end result is that I feel that my life was well lived.
Okay, life is well lived. Now go to the other part. And what's the purpose of the blobby part? Was that right?
Yeah, the blobby part was kind of just saying it's unsafe. It's unsafe. I need to keep you safe.
Yeah. So what's the purpose of keeping safe?
I keep getting so you won't get hurt.
And if you're not getting hurt, what are you getting?
You'll be okay.
And if you're okay, what's the purpose of being okay?
You'll be safe.
Yeah. What's the purpose of being safe? Like, if I'm safe, what's the purpose of being safe?
Everything that's coming is negative. Like, you won't be in pain. You won't,
Yeah. So let's say to that part, and by the way, everyone here is learning right now. If we were to give all the safety and all the not pain and all the ways that you want to get it to that part, so it's got it all, then what's the purpose once you've got it all?
I guess that would be to be fulfilled also, in a weird way. Okay.
And what was the other part's purpose? To be fulfilled.
Yes. Okay. You're so smart.
I know, I've just done this a few times. And so well done. I'll let you sit with that for a second. Thanks, Carrie. So here's what's brilliant about this. And we're just setting the month up here. So it's all cool. I'm just helping you all get it. But did you see the battle there? That part wants to pretend it only wants negative. What's the purpose of being safe? To have a life. What's the purpose of having a life? To be fulfilled. What's the purpose? See, you see that? So when the parts realize that the part of us that's trying to be safe and not rejected, and the part of us that's trying to be in a different way, they're actually trying to do the same thing. They're just going at the same thing from completely different perspectives. Yeah. So in World War II, there was this amazing thing that happened. Is after the war ended, in Japan they had these soldiers operating by themselves, and they were out there in the middle of the jungle, just operating, looking after themselves, fending for themselves. They had no communication with their base, with the government, with knowing what had happened. So 5 years after World War II, they were still coming across Japanese soldiers who were out there following instructions and had been completely cut off. They had no idea. 5 years since the war ended. You think it'd be pretty traumatic to realize that the war was over, right? 5 years, you've just been out there, being a good soldier. So tell you what they did is they brought them back, and they gave them a hero's salute. They gave them a hero celebration. They gave them a badge of honor for extended services, and they thanked them. Someone's just typed in, there was one out there for 20 years. Yeah, it's a true story. And so they came back and they gave them all a big hero celebration, welcome, and a medal. And so what these soldiers didn't realize is they would keep fighting a fight that had been over for years. And just because they're fighting a fight that has been over for years doesn't mean that they were doing anything wrong. They just hadn't got the correct information, which is the same with you. Many of us have aspects of us that are still not trying to not get beaten up by our elder sibling, and our elder sibling is, now like a respectable, father of four, or you know what I'm saying? Is at some point we have to realize the war is over. The war is over, actually, but you haven't done anything wrong. Just that the war is over. Many of you have heard me explain the metaphor and story of the elephant tied to a small stake in the ground. And as a baby elephant, it pulls and pulls and pulls and just learns that it's helpless. So it gives up. As an adult elephant, You still tie it with a small stake. It hasn't realized it's no longer helpless. And so what's interesting is for most of us, we didn't have a formal integration into adulthood. We had a blurred line between child, kind of adult, kind of adult, kind of adult. I think I'm still kind of adult. And we don't have a formal process of acknowledging that the child in us, the child period has finished. Because most of our unconscious wounds are childish. They're childlike. They are still asking for permission. Am I really allowed to have money? Am I allowed to be happy? Please, would someone just let me be allowed? Excuse me, universe. Am I allowed? We're still acting in the way that we don't actually have it all together. And what's interesting about that is that that in order for us to create our personality, we have to go through an experience of falling from grace and coming into this vehicle and becoming an individual and becoming limited. And in that's quite painful. Okay. And in that we find a wound that also has a superpower. And we're there. Most of us never receive our true power. We just stay stuck on the wounded side of it. And so this next process is about allowing parts of us to realize that the agreement that we gave it is out of date. I mean, heck, it's way out of date. And it's time for a new agreement. That's what it is. It's time for a new agreement with an updated contract, and that you get to use all your skills in a new way, right? Or you get to use all of your skills in a brand new way. And that's really quite something, isn't it? It's really quite something. But it's time for a new agreement. Yeah. So that's great. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to go through this next process. And this is, this is really fun. Really, really fun. So it's a visual journey that I will take you on. And it's called the Parts Auditorium. This journey is closed eye with recode. What we do is we imagine like a big gathering place, like a town hall, or like an amphitheater, like a Woodstock outside music venue, or a basketball gym, or a football stadium, or a wedding reception. You guys get it, okay? It's just a big gathering. We imagine this place any way you like. We imagine all of our conscious parts show up. As they show up, they turn up however they show up any day. They might show up like little beads or blobs or dots or animals or little versions of you running around or little Legos. Doesn't matter how they show up. They just show up. You may see them. You may not see them. You may just know this is what you're imagining. And so as you imagine it, what we do is we show some visual videos of the behaviors that you want to shift or change. And we ask the part. So for example, you might show a video of you about to go on stage and getting stressed out. Okay, so you show that video. And you say, what parts are busy creating this? And you'll notice that around the auditorium, you'll just notice, you'll get a feeling that there's some individuals out there that go, yeah, I'm in charge of that. And they're quite happy about it. So you bring them all down and you go, cool, so you're in charge of this. Yeah, awesome. What is it you're trying to do? Oh, cool. And you ask them, you say, so can you show me your work order or your contract? Like, why are you making me so upset before I go on stage? And they provide you the work order, and it says, make sure you don't embarrass dad. Work order says, make sure you make grandma happy. Work order says, make sure you don't get told off in church. That's the work order. You go, oh, well, that's really fascinating. What's the purpose of that work order? To make sure I'm not beaten, make sure I'm not told off, so that I'm a good boy. So, oh, okay, cool. And so you connect this place. Hey, actually, can I just let you in on a secret? I'm not actually 4 years old anymore. And so we play a movie of a montage of your life. And the parts are kind of going, what? Like, wow, wow. And you say, yeah, cool. So actually that work order is a little bit out of date. Right? It's a little bit out of date. And they go, yeah, you're right. So how about we have a new work order that's got an upgraded decision? They go, yeah, that's cool. And you go, okay, the new work order is make sure that I live my full potential. Go, cool. So instead of make sure I don't embarrass or I don't be this sort of, how about make sure I live my full potential? And you go, yeah, how about that as a work order? They go, yeah, that sounds like a good one. Apply all your skills that you have done there and apply it in a different way. And then we go, okay, great. So look, this is going to be new. So look, maybe there's some other parts that are going to help you with this, but also how about we just try it on like a trial job? Like, why don't you just try it on for 4 weeks, this new work order? Try it on for 1 week and we just create a trial. Cool. Just a trial. And we just let them try it on. And if they agree, we lock it in. Okay. That's the general theme of it. It's a visual meditation, and then we do recode with it as well. You don't need to see anything. You just need to listen to my voice and follow along and just get the answers. When we ask the part, how old do you think I am? Sometimes you just get a sense. Sometimes it will hold up like 4 or 1 or 2. Sometimes an image will come in your mind. Okay. So we'll work with your other choice that you haven't worked with, right? So you picked 2 at the beginning. So we're going to work with the other one now. And, we'll go. What's going on, Janine? Is that a what I need to not do? Is that instructions for me? Because I can't help it, all right? I mean, it's just natural to me, you know? Yeah, it's funny. Okay, so right. It just made me laugh. I have to get back into seriousness. Okay, so as you think about the second choice, there's a part of you that's happy to achieve it, right? And if it was happy to achieve it, you'd just be achieving it. Everything would be perfect. So I want you just to acknowledge how you are when you're not achieving it. What's that like? And just acknowledge it. What am I doing? What am I thinking? Where is my focus when I'm not achieving it? And just acknowledge it. You don't need to write anything down. It's just, yeah. If there was a part over here completely in flow, how's this other part of you that's like, against it? So this part's in flow. And just notice how that is. When you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes. Take a breath and just choose to get the most out of this. And as you choose to get the most out of it, I'd like you to just imagine a gathering place, an auditorium, a town hall, a football field. However you choose it to be is just fine. You're going to ask all of your parts to come join you at this gathering place. Ask them to come to this gathering place. And it's a requirement that all parts attend. So even those parts of you that won't attend, the teenage part of you or the other parts who won't attend, let them know that there's promotions available. which they're all interested in. And so just make it a requirement that all parts of you attend, and just notice how they show up today. Just notice how they show up today. So just imagining this gathering place and parts of you showing up, and just have them all show up. And as they do, you know, they might filter into the stadium or to the town hall and take seats, or they might be standing, or they might be climbing up trees. But what you want to do is make sure that you've set it in a way that there's enough television screens that everyone can see what's happening on the stage, and there's microphones everywhere. So even those that are hanging out in the car park, or, you know, not where they need to be, they're still going to see the screen. And so now they're all there, just noticing what you notice. I want you to address the audience. So imagine that you address the audience, and you're there, and you've got a microphone, and you acknowledge firstly that you let them all know that you're grateful that they're all here, and that you know they all have a positive intention. So just acknowledge that I know you all have a positive intention, and we're here for promotions. We're here for upgrades. All of you are doing fantastic, and we're here for upgrades. Please let them know that you're the main personality. Introduce yourself as the main personality, and that we're here for upgrades. And we might come back to this place many times for upgrades. Now, please, would you put on all of the screens a video or image of you when you're completely dysfunctional towards this choice. So put images up of how you are when you're totally in self-sabotage. Please ask the audience if there are any parts that are in charge of creating this experience. Would they please make themselves known? Please make themselves known. And just notice where in the audience are they located? Are they all located together? Is it just one of them? Is it a group? Just notice where they're making themselves known. And just ask, who is in charge of creating this self-sabotage? Who's in charge of this sabotage? And as you ask that question, I want you to go around and gather the group of parts who are in charge of it. Now, it might just be one, it might be two, it might be 100. The parts of you that are in charge of that. When you have them there, please ask them to nominate a spokespart who will speak on behalf of the rest of the group. Yep. Please ask the spokespart, how old do you think I am? Just notice how they respond. How old do you think I am? Just notice if they respond, or you get an image, or you get a number. Just how old do you think I am? Would you please now play, so that all parts in the whole auditorium can see, would you please play on all the screens a quick video reel showing your life, so that all parts know your true age? Some parts might be very surprised at this. Please ask the group of parts in front of you to produce the work order, agreement, or contract you first made with them. The contract will go along the lines of make sure I, and then something. Please ask them to produce the work order or contract, and notice what the contract is. Make sure that I, whatever it is, thank them. Say thank you. Thank you for showing me that. what is your intended purpose of this contract? Please ask the group, what is the intended purpose? What is the intended positive outcome of that contract? Keep asking them, and what is the purpose of that? And ask, what is the purpose of that? Enough times until you get the highest good that this contract is trying to achieve. If they give you a super negative answer, say, and if you are able to do all of that in all the ways that you want, what good thing will that give me? Keep asking, and what's the purpose of that, until you get the highest purpose of freedom, love, choice, abundance, peace. When you get to the highest purpose, the highest intended outcome, please look at the group and say, good, I want that too. Keep asking this group of parts their highest intended purpose. What's the purpose of that? And what's the purpose of that? Until you get to the highest one, and then say, good, I want that too. Superconscious, please treat and do a massive change history as needed for these parts. Thank you. Fantastic. Please now ask these parts, if we were able to achieve that highest end result in different ways, would you be open for it? If we were able to take your skills and create a new contract that will work for all of us in new ways, would that be a good thing? Yeah. So now write a new contract, a new agreement. The new contract should be, make sure that I achieve this new result. On all the screens, please now play an image of you achieving your end result. Please ask the parts to look at the screens. Would they like their new contract to be about creating this experience? If they would sign a new contract. If they're a little bit skeptical, ask them, how long would an acceptable trial period be? 2 weeks, 1 week, 1 day, 1 month. Sign a new contract. Make sure that superconscious, please do a treatment on all parts as needed. Now, sign off the contract with a shake of a hand or a high five or a hug. Make sure that I create this new end result. Now address the whole room. Let every part in this room know that this group has done an amazing job. They have been like those Japanese soldiers, fighting the good fight, fighting the fight that they were told to do, following orders. And now, because of that, they've been upgraded to a new role and a new promotion. And let the crowd roar. Let them celebrate the promotion and high five each other and Yahoo as this group celebrates their promotion. With high fives, allow them to go back to their place in the audience. And notice how that feels different as you conduct an ending ceremony, letting all the parts know that we can come back here for promotions, and this is a good place. Superconscious, ground all the memories we've touched today, reconnect them back to the matrix of the universe, allow the auditorium or the stadium to disappear, and all parts go back to their jobs. When you're ready, open your eyes, come back. Sweet. Wow. Danny Lynn said at the beginning or in the middle was said, oh, this is painful. And then at the end, that was humbling and amazingly healing. Michelle says, wow. Linda says, fun. Zoom user drops the mic. I don't know who you are, Zoom user. Hope the mic didn't break. Dynamic. Awesome, awesome, magical, cool. Painfully relieving tears, very emotional. Lauren's cross-eyed. Well, that wasn't me, okay? I mean, like, that's just happened. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. Very effective. Wonderful. How was that? I think we've got a few people that have knocked out and fallen asleep. That's okay. They just integrate in their sleep. Awesome. Wow, that's intense, Bria. There she is. Hey, Liz, welcome back. Awesome. Wonderful experience. Great stuff. Feel rejuvenated. So that is the other way. So however you got out, or whatever you got out of this introductory process is your first baseline of your consciousness allowing you to do this, okay? The more that you go through a process, the more you're going to relax into it, and you allow yourself to just let go. Now, remember, there's two ways we can be orienting in the present moment, right? One is we can be the most recent version of the past. Okay, so we are a past and we are the tip, right, of the past, right? Like we are the top of that. Or, see, if you're the top of the past, there's no future. Or you can be the most earliest version of a future you with no past. You see that? So you're either a person that's informing their present from their future, or you're somebody that's informing their present from their past. And however you do that will change everything. Because it's all pre-sent. Yeah. That's right, Amanda. So you're either one of those. So however you are with that process, it's only going to get deeper this month. And my vision is that as a group, we allow our systems to just go, okay, this month, I'm going to get all parts of me focused on all my choices. So I think it's going to be a really, really, really great month. So every session of November, we're doing parts. Cool. And you'll really have a great time. So that went a lot faster than I thought it would, but that's it, hey. But that's it. That's everything that that I needed to go through to set you up. So just so you all know, there's a really great notes for this month, okay, which is all here. Here's the parts auditorium. Okay, it's written out for you as well. Okay. And so that's the general steps, and the rest of it was me ad-libbing. So you've actually got the processes here, and here's the first one we did here. Okay, so you've got them there, and then there was the stuff, the trainings before it. All right. So beautiful, beautiful. This will get uploaded into your Kajabi. Okay, and I've said it a few times, but I want to go an inch wide, a mile deep with this work. So every session that you turn up to, you're going to pick a couple of choices and you're going to work through them. Okay, so very cool. I'm really proud of this group, proud of what we're doing. So let's have an absolutely amazing month ahead, eh? You have 8 choices for the month, right? So you have your choices, okay? So you have your core choices, and then so we have our 4 core choices, and then we have about 6 other choices, okay? I don't recommend having more than a total of 10 choices. I just don't recommend it, right? 4, core 4, and then another 6. So let's say that you had all 10, and you've done 2 now, and then if you do 2 each week, you're going to get them all done with a great recode and a great process with breathing space between each one. So I don't know about you guys, but someone give me a yes in the chat box if you think this is an upgrade to the program, because we do. We're really happy about it, and we hope you guys are too. We really think it's gonna make everyone's lives even better. So this session will be once a month. It'll be with me, and we'll set the month up, and then you'll do the sessions for the rest of the month, and then we'll set it up, and then we'll do the sessions, set it up. So I've said it about 10 times, so I think everyone's got how it's going to go. I love you all so much. Send me an email if you need anything. Have a great month out there. Stay magnetic, and I'll see you at the end to hear all the great stuff you created. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.